Hey everybody, I'm Daniel the Dungeon Master. This is Cats and Crowbars. I've been playing for roughly 17 years and dungeon mastering for the last 10 years. My longest running campaign was 3 years. Before I move on to other people, I'd like to mention that we are using Syrinscape for all our soundboards, music, sound effects. Try to cut down on sound effects so it doesn't get overwhelming. Today we're going to be missing one of our players, but we're introducing another character to our crew. I'm going to pass it off on to John.
Hi, I'm John, playing half-elf paladin Abram, a Oath of the Ancients paladin. I worship Wild Mother. I have been playing for about 10 years since I was a kid, and however I've been DMing haphazardly for the last 6 years, so this is the first game I've played in quite a while. Gonna be rusty, not gonna lie, but hopefully I can get back into the groove. But yeah, anything else?
No, that's good. Chris.
My name's Chris, and I play the half-elf bard Lesnalor, but I'm just have everyone call him Les because reasons.
Tyler, playing barbarian Volkar.
Alright, and then a few words. Chloe, playing the kobold wild magic sorcerer Squeege Kovesh.
Morgana.
And I'm Morgana. I'm playing Aphlia, the bard, the tiefling bard. I'm awake.
All right, perfect. Did you want to read recap from last session, or did you want me to get it?
Well, let's see if I can recap in 60 seconds. See how long it takes me. Alright, so we started in our 3-wagon caravan. It was a peaceful ride for the first, 5 days of our journey. We were separated at first. We had seen each other. We didn't know much about each other. We did get to meet our 3 drivers, Lenore, Ryan, and Manzel. Nothing much happened until Volgar's shift of Night Watch, where he sees a glimmer off in the distance, and we fight a group of bandits, who we find out aren't really bandits, but rather people of the town that we're heading off to. Tinny, our one survivor, manages to tell us all about the Wither, a disease afflicted by somebody called the Timber Maiden, who we assume to be the god that we've been hearing about walking on people. The session goes on. We do fight a singular undead, or rather Volgar totally just destroys this singular undead without help. And then the rest of the game went on mostly quietly until a fog rolls in and it doesn't seem to lift. And we finally enter the town where Manzel leads us to go to the Springvine Inn, and we finally reach level 2. It was 1 minute and 20 seconds.
Right. So to elaborate, the party had been traveling for several days from Trade Vein, traveling south in this 3-carriage caravan. Basically, there had been rumors of a godlike entity granting boons and also taking very deeply from the local populace. It's been making people nervous because everybody knows that gods can't walk the earth anymore. They've all been locked behind a divine gate or weave. So they traveled all the way down to Forstford, which is a lumber community on the southern end of the continent of Ysera. The town is perpetually locked, from what you guys can see, in a heavy fog extending Visibility is only about a quarter mile. As you guys finally settle in, having arrived, it is 9 o'clock in the morning, and you have said goodbye to the caravan as you stand at the edge of the town. Manzel, before he drives off, lets you know if you need anything, you can find him at the Misty Vine Inn. Oh, sorry, the Spring Vine Inn. What do you guys wish to do?
Oplia is going to go ahead and wander into the town, kind of look at the shops that she's passing by, but she is going to be looking for the people that she saw in her vision.
Okay. Go ahead and make a perception check.
Just a flat perception check?
Just flat perception. Anybody else doing anything as you guys wander?
I would like to go try to find a tavern or bar.
Okay. Also,
I
make...
got a 17.
All right. Are you just looking, or are you going to start talking to people to ask?
I'd probably have or chat with some people.
Okay. Roll an investigation check then for me.
8.
8. Being a tall, rough-looking individual who's brand new to town, most of the people that you see around you are on the more well-to-do side. They have shawls and cloaks tied tightly around them to stave off the chilling sea breeze that occasionally wanders through the town, bringing with it more and more fog. But you can smell the salt air and just hear a seagull's cry just somewhere off in the distance. But as you being still slightly grimy from your dirt baths and killing people, you're scaring them off before you get more than a few words out. But Morgana, you cast your eyes about with a 17.
Yes.
There's people about. They seem to be going about daily business. You hear wagons carting in. Well, actually, they're heading out of town. They have heavy straps in empty carts. You see tools for clear cutting the woods as they progress out into the clear fields. No sign of children or anybody afflicted with the wither.
Okay, I guess she'll just continue her way through. If anybody wants to follow her, she's not going to stop them. But...
Okay, you guys begin progressing through the town. You see people going about their business. You smell freshly baked bread and occasionally smell like scented meats from a local butchery. I'll get to that in a second. All right. As you guys continue further in, the streets are starting to clear out a little bit, and there seems to be a commotion at a nearby well further in of the street.
What's going on?
Do we go check it out?
I'll go check it out.
Okay. You guys move forward. Figures coming out of the fog. People seem to be gathering, a little grubbier looking, around a cart that seems to be stuffed full of jangling trinkets and vials of some kind. And a man is standing on top of an old wine barrel, calling out to the crowd.
Step
Step right up, step right up. I have what cures what ails you. You, sir, you look like you are suffering from some awful affliction. Yes, sir, I have the wither. It's like, I have exactly what you need. Step right up. You, 15 gold for a little sample. It'll see you through the week. As you guys... Yep. As you guys approach in, you see a sign haphazardly attached to this cart. It's a short, stocky cart, and it has what looks to be like a propped up shutter. And you can see inside it's somewhat deep, and it's just crammed full of shelves. And there's these dark, thick vials in the back corner, and then there's like shiny medallions and trinkets on one of the shutters and everything. And on the side of it, it says Frederick Ray Butcher, alchemist extraordinaire. As he's like going, this right here will stave off any illness, mystic or otherwise. People are starting to clamor up, and he hands one to a woman who looks extremely pale, and she hands him some gold. She immediately drinks it, and you can see like her skin becomes flush. And what was a swooning appearance before suddenly becomes like vitalized. And she goes, oh, I feel wonderful. Thank you, sir. God bless. As she trundles off, and then that excites more people as they all begin clamoring with coin.
Can we roll a perception check to see if there's any trickery going on?
That would be insight. Yes.
Can Offie roll an insight as well, or at least maybe help Squee or something?
Yeah, you can either assist or roll yourself.
I got 14 on that.
Okay, well now you'll be rolling by yourself.
Okay, I'm rolling by myself. Yeah, that's a 6. So
14?
knows more than
He, like, it was really fast, and there was a visible change in the woman's appearance. So there might be something to it. You guys are just kind of standing on the outside of this gathering. People are handing and tossing coin his way. A unusual creature bounds from his shoulders and leaps out into the crowd to some gasps. It appears to be, it's about football size. It looks like a cross between a squirrel with bat-like wings and a scorpion's tail.
Does it look like something worth fighting?
It's kind of puny. It's extremely exotic. But he goes, don't be alarmed. Mister here is just helping me out, gathering your coin. Just bring forth the token he hands you, and I will give you a vial of my magnificent elixir. And as they start to calm down and start handing this odd thing that has a pouch tied to its back, putting coin in the pouch as it like looks at him, and then jangles a token off of its scorpion-like tail. They grab the token and bustle forward into a secondary line.
Okay, so it's pretty busy, pretty chaotic. Nobody.
It's
really
pretty
sure what's going on.
chaotic. After watching the woman's display, they're starting to press in harder and harder, and he motions, and a guard comes out from another one and starts like manhandling them and pushing them back as they're screaming, "No, my daughter! She has the wither! Take my money! I need this!"
Okay, Ophia's gonna get a little bit into the crowd so nobody can really see her, and then she's going to attempt to summon Switch without anybody noticing.
Okay, summoning switch is Make a sleight of hand check to do this discreetly.
Yeah. What dice?
Anybody else doing anything while she's doing this?
I want to see what kind of beast that guy's brought out, because I'm kind of curious about what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Make an Arcana check.
I love being a bard for once. No, that's an 8.
8.
Is it a flat sleight of hand, or is it going to be advantage or disadvantage?
It'll just be flat.
Just be flat, so that's a 9.
9. Luckily enough, everybody's pretty distracted. Nobody seems to understand what you're doing because they're more focused on this unusual creature, the manhandling guard, and this slightly greasy-looking human as he's handing out small vials of some kind of black liquid.
Okay.
As you're getting closer, you see Frederick, the alchemist, has slick-backed black hair, pulled really tight up against his scalp. He's wearing a brown patched jacket over a tan shirt and trousers. And you can see as he's standing on this wine barrel, mud-caked travel boots.
Alright, and is he only selling the vials, or you said there was other things on the...
Yes,
right?
he's mostly pushing this vial of slightly blackish liquid. You haven't had a chance to actually investigate the liquid or look at it, but he has talismans on one side, and a few other vials of other things, but he most of the cart is packed with these little vials of black liquid, and you're starting to watch as the stockpile of this elixir is quickly just going.
While it's in the midst of being sold, I want to try to see if I can stealth up to him. Go through the crowd.
Aphlia's gonna assist in this. She's gonna be trying to walk up to him and catch his attention.
Okay. How are you gonna cause a distraction?
She's going to start asking about some of the other things in his cart.
Okay. Make a athletics check to push your way through the crowd. It's starting to clear out, but the front of it's pretty dense, and they're trying to push them forward themselves.
Athletics. Okay. Well, how does a natural 1 sound?
You are quickly pushed and knocked off your feet as bodies just press around you. And you actually have, you feel claustrophobic, and you scramble your way out of the crowd, gasping and looking rather tousled.
Oak switch in to also attempt to stealth, kind of just to get close to some of the vials and stuff.
Okay, have him make a stealth check, and what did you roll for stealth?
21.
21? Okay. You're making your way, it's the bodies are pressing in, and they're all clamoring, and just when you think you have a clear line of sight, suddenly the bodyguard is just right there in your face, just looking down at you. He got a natural 20.
Switch got a black 20.
Okay. I'd say Switch has advantage because he's so tiny and it's chaotic.
And I'm distracting the guard.
Yeah, and you're distracting the guard, but,
Unintentionally.
Oh, wait, no, it's not a flat 20, my bad. I was looking at the wrong thing. That is a 24, but if it's advantage. Yeah, 24.
As he's bearing down on Leslinor, he quickly moves to the side and just picks up this weasel and just stares at it. And he goes, "The hell are you?"
Switch is just gonna squeak and try to look like he's getting away, like he was trying to run or something.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir, but that was my weasel. I was looking for it and trying to go through the crowd and find him because he escaped my grasp.
Make a deception check.
I guess Switch would agree to that. To help out with it.
Switch begins looking like giving it the pouty bat face.
That's 12.
12? Okay. He's like, get it out of here. He doesn't seem to believe you, but he just wants it out of here.
Thank you, sir. And as soon as I get outside, it's put on the ground.
Switch will scamper off, like off in the distance.
Okay. As Switch scampers off, the crowd is slowly dwindling, and the vials are like almost gone at this point. It appears that whoever has money is buying as many vials as they can afford at 15, gold a pop.
Has anybody else that looks sick taken a vial and drank it in front of us?
Make a perception check.
That one.
Natural one? No. As far as you can tell, like you've looked, most of them seem to be like running off to their homes with their treasured vials in hand, like not willing to risk somebody stealing a precious prize from them.
I love how the one good stealth roll I've had in ages actually sucks.
I'm sorry the bodyguard got a natural
I
20.
rolled a 19 with Switch.
I rolled a 15. I have level 1 expertise and it still is like not going through on it.
Yeah.
Alright, within the next 15 minutes, all the vials are sold, much to the dismay of the remaining 20 people who were trying to get a vial. He goes, don't worry. In but a week's time, I'll be back with more.
And is awfully able to walk up to the cart now.
As they're like disgruntled and dispersing, a few of them are crying, like begging him to give him a secret vial stash that they know he has. But the bodyguard starts like shoving them and like strong arming them out of the way as he's quickly like packing up and lashing the cart shut and getting ready to move out of town.
Okay, she's gonna try to catch the what's his name? Frederick.
Yep, Frederick.
Yeah.
Yep. As you come up, he's like, quickly, let's go. We gotta get the next one or the next round.
Hi. I was just wondering, what all are you selling here? I saw a group and suddenly everyone's gone.
Sorry, madam. I'm afraid we're sold out of my magnificent elixir. Come back in a week when we return with fresh stock.
Elixir?
Yes, the magnificent elixir. It can cure any ill. But unfortunately, I am. Wait, are you looking for something else?
I like to collect things. Yes.
And quickly, they always get a little rough this time of the month, as he opens up his cart once more. It's pretty bare now that his magnificent elixir has been sold out. But there's a few vials of liquid in there, and a couple of talismans. Alright, so what are you in the market for? I have this wonderful item. It's a talisman of protection. It is guaranteed to help stave off blows.
I actually look for uncommon or even historical things, actually.
Unfortunately, I dabble more in the arcane, and I'm an alchemist, and I make most of these items myself. Satisfaction guaranteed.
Okay, so what's all in the bottles that you do have left then?
Yes. I have here, and he pulls out a small collection of potions in a wooden rack. These are curative potions, your standard home garden variety, but, these are dangerous times. A mere 70 gold apiece.
Do any of them look like what he was selling?
Make a perception check.
Yeah, right. Only 11.
No, the vials he was selling was more of a dark brackish liquid. These are red with a bit of a shine in what little sunlight peeks through in the morning through all the mist.
Okay. Oh, 70 gold. Wow. You must work really hard at these.
Of course I do. Each one of these potions takes several days for me to craft. But their potency is guaranteed.
You don't like guarantees.
Okay. I don't think I have the 70 gold right now, but I may have to hit you up next week then.
Yes, of course, when I come back. In a week's time. Anybody else? I'm going to close up shop soon. Nope, perfect. As he quickly just slams the potions back in their rack, slams the shutters closed, belts across them, and then he whistles to his bodyguard as the horse-drawn carriage begins moving off into the fog. The strange little scorpion creature flies overhead and perches on his shoulder as he goes off to wherever he goes. You guys are now standing in a mostly empty town square. A little dumbfounded, but...
Well, that was boring. I'm gonna continue looking for my tavern.
Yep. You just kind of watch that whole spectacle go on, and nope, Volgar needs a drink. All right, as you continue on, go ahead and make a new perception check or investigation, depending on if you want to talk to people. Perception.
14.
14. As you're going along, the smell of cooked meats and you see a wheelbarrow full of a cask in it being trundled down the dirt street. Ale. Tavern.
I follow.
I thought you said full of cats.
Yeah.
Cask.
Volgar like cats. I don't know. No, he doesn't. He doesn't like cats at all.
You are led to the Little Falcon's Bar.
Alright.
It is judging by its somewhat dilapidated outside, a more seedy bar.
Perfect.
I'm following along with him because it seems like people stay away from him, and also he's stupid, so he's probably not going to realize I'm disguised.
Yeah.
So you think?
Your cat companion, Cosmic, is with you as well. Though he whispers that he's probably going to try and find a place to sleep. The trip kind of made him a little nauseous, and he needs
He's got a couple hairballs. So.
Yeah, he's got to find a place to sleep it off.
Well, tavern's perfect.
Alright. I'm gonna go in and order a drink.
Okay. easy enough. You enter into the tavern. It's you hear the creaking wood of loose floorboards. Not that you can really see them underneath all the peanut shells and grubby, unswept floors. It is definitely a more seedy tavern. Behind the lopsided bar, it looks to be like rough. Like logs for stools, just cut stumps for stools, roughly hewn, probably give you splinters countertops.
Not my hands. My hands are way too.
Yeah.
Your hands will get the countertop splinters.
Yeah.
It is virtually empty, being like really early in the morning. It's probably around like 9:30 in the morning. Everybody's like out to work now. There's a few like passed out people in the grummy corner. You smell throw up somewhere in this place as a grubby looking dwarf like sits behind the bar. Coughing and wheezing slightly.
I go sit down at the bar, and I say, "Little man, bring me your strongest ale."
Little man, you say? Judging by fucking human types, you couldn't handle it.
Strongest ale is only for the strongest. You were clearly of the weakest.
Right. You can see like a black vein slowly creeping across his face.
I can handle any ale. Bring me what you got.
Hit. It'll cost you 2 silver. For this. Course challenge.
As he goes over, pulls out this thick terracotta jar, uncorks it with his teeth. You can see like it's all like black and grimy. His teeth, he's missing a couple, and he just like spits the cork right into his hand, and then just pours this thick, kind of amberish like syrup into right there into a terracotta mug, and then just hands it to you as you hand him the 2 silver.
Okay. Yeah, I drink it.
Okay.
Constitution.
Do you drink it fast or do you just sip it?
I take a big swallow.
Okay. It's thick. It burns. Make a Constitution saving throw. It's called Court's Challenge.
Constitution saving. Where is that one here?
On this side.
Is it +6? Okay. Yeah, there we are. So that would be 19.
19. You wheeze slightly. Much like most of the patrons in here, apparently, in the dust-choked air. You feel it hit like a hammer, but you're not drunk, but you're a little looser than you were before.
That is some good stuff, little man. I like it.
You're damn right.
So why is everybody around here so negative? Drinking this stuff, everybody should be happy as hell.
Lost of them couldn't handle it. That lost over there couldn't.
As you see like this like older woman like missing like half her teeth, that's like a puddle of drool over a log of a table. And she's just like, you see blackened veins across her face.
Weak city folk.
The people out here are mostly tough working, but, you know, dwarven shit they can't handle.
Well, I like it. That's a good brew. So anything going on in this town aside from I just saw a bunch of people scrambling, throwing gold at a what do I call them?
Oh, fucking snake oil merchant.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah. So what's up with that?
They'll think that they can stave off the inevitable if they take that shite. I, for one, don't believe in it.
Yeah, they should be drinking this. This will cure everything.
Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be working.
So you just need to drink more.
That's the right attitude.
Alright.
Anything else? No? Alright. Tarnavane. Oh, sorry, not Tarnavane. Sorry, wrong character. Les Lenore.
Yes.
What are you up to?
I'm gonna search around and see if I can find any store that might possibly sell musical instruments.
Okay. You can make a perception check or a investigation check.
That roll.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, when I pulled this, I could see it. I have to re-roll it. It's a 6 perception. I mean,
How about you?
I was a
Steve?
9 either way.
You're still looking for a place to stay, or you followed him, so
Yeah.
you're in the tavern too.
I'm not saying anything because I don't want
It might be a
to
weird
talk to me.
disguise.
I'm
I rolled
just
a
kind of
9.
sitting next to you, looking in horror as you drink this thick, disgusting-looking brew that probably has stuff floating around in it.
Okay. So you said you got a what investigation?
A 9.
9 investigation. Looking around, you don't seem to find like a music shop. You do happen to find a trinket shop which is boarded up and closed. It says Gregor's Goods.
Can I try to break into it?
Sure. How are you going to break into it?
How does the door look? Is the door completely...
It's boarded up. So are the windows.
I'm gonna like search around the building and see if there's anything that's either loosely boarded, like not all the way nailed in, or if there is something that might be able to give me access.
Okay. I'm assuming you're gonna stealth this,
Yes.
or okay.
It's a 24 stealth.
Aflia. Aflia. Where are you at?
Aflia's going to break from the group. She's going to go pick up Switch. And she's going to be keeping Switch like around her shoulders, hidden in her hair. Because she's got enough hair to do. And then she's going to be looking around for possibly either places of worship or for the children.
Okay. I'll have you roll a perception check as Leslinor, you stealth around. Go ahead and make an investigation check for loose boards.
16.
16? Easy enough. You see what looks to be a town guard just chatting with a woman in a shawl, looking well-to-do. The guard also looks like he's like whole and healthy. While he's distracted, you dart around the building as you start just nonchalantly just like pounding your hand on boards, occasionally like trying to find a crevice, kicking the loose floorboards along the base. It seems to be this is a carpentry town, so even a hasty boarded up kind of thing, it's at least done well and it's been done recently.
Alright, then I'm going to try to go back and see what I can listen to on the guard and the person who's looks like healthy.
Okay. As you stealth up around the corner, just listening to him, it's pretty easy to just casually lean up against it. they seem to be just talking, just light business, just, so how you holding up? Oh, you know, the tributes are digging deeper into the pockets, but just knowing that you and the guard are out there to escort us to the site just puts a little peace of mind. And as long as we continue to get the blessing, you know, to stave off the wither, it's all we can do. And he goes, yeah, just as long as you guys keep paying, you know, so that we can continue to do our jobs. It's all in the line of duty. And then they just seem to smile, nod knowingly, and then they walk off about their business.
Together or separately?
Separately.
I'm going to try to see if I can keep following the woman.
Okay. Breaking from cover are you going to be like going from cover to cover, or are you going to be just walking through the light crowd? There's a few people on the street, but most of them seem to have found whatever business they have for the day, whether it's shops or going out into the woods to clear cut.
Would it be possible to do a mixture of both, like whatever's more advantage at the time? Either going through the crowd or darting the cover?
Well, it'll be the difference between a stealth roll or a deception check.
I'm going to go with the one that requires a stealth roll.
Okay, so you're going to be cover to cover. So because you're breaking from one cover to start doing leaping, please make a new stealth check.
19.
19. Okay, easy enough. Over the next 20 minutes, she just stops by, looks into a window of a shop called Heavenly Handmade. It appears to be a clothing store. She just looks at the local display of a new type of shawl on a dummy in the window. She checks her purse, seems to rummage through some coins, and then decides better of it as she makes her way down the street towards the forest, or at least in that general direction. She says hi to a local baker on her way, and off in the distance, just out of the fog, you see a huge wooden structure and what sounds like sawing of wood as she makes her way towards it.
I'm going to keep following. I'm kind of curious about what this building is, even though, again, we kind of know what it is, but
Okay.
My guy's never seen anything like this because he's from a city.
Okay. As you make your way through the fog, going from cover to cover, avoiding a guard, you see about 100 feet of just clear space. What looks to be several carts in a small caravan carrying what looks to be water-soaked logs out of a river that you can hear in the distance but can't see. Mm-hmm. And they all seem to be moving towards what looks... It's kind of like a huge barn, but it's massive in size, and you can't see its entirety through the fog. As you're standing at this clearing, I'm going to move on to Ophlia.
Okay, it was a perception check, right?
Yes.
13.
13. Looking about, there are no children in this town that you can see. Like normally in a town this size, you'd expect to see a child here or there. but looking about there's no children playing just off in side alleys, no mother scolding a child for attempting to steal a sweet from a local like a local shop. No children.
Okay. Did she see any of the, what else was she looking for? Places of worship as she was walking as well? Because she was looking for that too.
As you're going around, it takes you about an hour, but you do hear a bell ringing. Just a steady bang, bang, bang of a metal bell sounding off 10 rings.
Okay, she'll go ahead and go towards that.
Okay, as you make your way through the town, you see a stone structure with pillars, 4 of them over the front. Atop the pillars, you see a triangular facade, and on it has giant brass scales, perfectly balanced on each side. Under it, in brass lettering, it says the Resolve Sanctuary.
Okay.
You can also see a bell tower in the center of the building.
Are there people in the building, or is it?
You see occasionally a person walk to the building, like in and out of it, as you make your way into the building proper, if you like.
Yeah. I mean, if there's no guards stopping her or anything, she'll just walk in. Like,
Nope.
She figures it's open.
As you enter in, your hooven feet clattering on stone. Several of the worshippers there audibly gasp and look at you with fright. As you look at them in turn, and you see like several of them are just gaunt and thick black veins running all up and down their skin. You can see this curse is slowly taking them.
Yeah. Yeah, how is the inside of it set up?
The inside, you see stone benches leading up to the front, where you see what looks to be it's kind of like a courtroom. You see 2 benches in the front with several chairs, a higher up pew in which somebody could stand and look down and preside upon everything, and then benches behind all of that, just facing it for worshippers, or in you've been in a lawbearer temple before. It's very much set up like a courtroom would be. You can see it's visibly lighter in this place than it is outside.
Okay.
A stately-looking man is presiding over and talking to small groups of gathered people, all of which appear to be stricken with the wither, as he's giving them words of comfort.
Right. She's not gonna go bother the people being talked to. She'll find a kind of standoffish place to stand, because they're like benches, so she could even probably sit. They've got no backs, right?
They have no backs.
Yeah. So she'll find a place to sit that isn't too close, not wanting to scare them off, but maybe a place where she can kind of possibly, actually she does have switch. She's going to find a place to sit close her eyes as if she were in prayer, and she's going to have Switch run around, like kind of in the shadowy areas to kind of listen in.
Okay, make a stealth check for Switch.
Of course. Let's hit stealth. So much clicking just for Switch. Oh, that one's actually pretty good. That will be 23.
23. Nobody seems to notice a Switch slinks around, sliding under benches, dodging like out of the way of an oncoming boot, just skirting on the outside whenever possible, as he makes his way towards, where did you say?
The people who are talking, and she's listening through him.
Okay, go ahead and make a perception check for Switch.
And this is with his keen hearing and smell with advantage, correct?
Yeah, if he has keen hearing.
He has keen hearing and smell. So.
Okay, perfect. Then go ahead with advantage.
Advantage! Awesome. And it's perception check, you say?
Yeah, perception.
That is a 22.
22. Fair enough. You can hear him say, "Father Drake, we can't stand this much longer. What can Arathis do for us?" And Father Drake just looks at him and goes, "There's always a balance, son. Whoever is causing this, it is no god. But our deliverance, should it be, will come. Just stand fast and with faith." And it seems to provide some comfort, but you can see the hear the desperation in the voice of the person who's receiving this platitude.
Okay.
And there's just mostly sobbing and just condolences and promises to bury the body properly.
So there's a body in there, or are they talking about somebody who died somewhere else?
Somebody who died somewhere else, it appears.
Okay. Then I guess she'll have Switch go ahead and come back to her, and she'll be back in her own head. And then I guess, kind of like she's finished her prayer, she's going to respectfully get up and attempt to leave again.
Okay. As you leave, a couple of the patrons just watch you intently the entire time, seeming visibly relieved that you leave. You can hear occasional familiar muttering of "it's probably her," or "what's that kind doing here?"
Yeah. Well, I guess she'll just ignore it as much as she can, and she'll.
Yeah, it's old fare.
Huh?
It's old fare.
Yeah, it is. She'll just go back into the town, and she'll just start looking for either. I don't know, she'll just look for a bookshop.
Okay. And with that, I'm going to move on back to Volgar and Squeege.
Alright. So, gosh, she was with me before. So, obviously, I would offer her to buy her a drink as well while we were there.
I would agree. Just probably not the strong, thick maple syrup that you were drinking.
Okay. You have some practice in drinking in the mask. It's kind of hard, but Cosmic has provided you with a reed straw so that you can drink through. Yeah, a drinking tube. After about like the fourth day of you constantly like knocking your mask aside, he found a solution to that.
Oh, thank you, Cosmic.
Okay.
Best cat.
So,
Anyway, so what do you be having? We've got Court's Challenge, of course, but you know, the smaller folk, what kind of handle?
what do you want?
Something normal.
Anyway, I've got standard amber, I've got, you know,
That sounds fine.
4 fucking elves, I've got this, like, wine, but who the fuck drinks wine?
Wine?
He seems to definitely put an emphasis that he thinks that it's whiny.
For the whiny elves.
Yep.
Wine for the whiny elves.
Pretty much!
I'll take some wine.
He seems a little taken aback and disgruntled that he even, like, owns wine.
We pretty much keep it for profiling purposes.
As he goes,
4 copper.
as he puts it in a grummy terracotta mug for you.
You make sure to get the grummy one.
Yep.
It's okay, I'm used to it.
So, I'll ask him about, I'm gonna ask about if he's heard anything about these gods that rumored to be wandering around this area.
Well, there's only the one. And she's a right fucking ass.
What one would this be?
They fucking call her the Timber Maiden.
And where can I find her?
You don't find her. She finds you.
And what would make her want to find me?
Go out into her fucking woods. Though, I must warn you. It's right dangerous.
So you're saying that I could get into a fight?
I guarantee it. No, if you be going out there, you best be going prepared. There's fucking basilisks out there. Turn you to stone with but a luck.
What would I need to prepare for them?
Yeah. Be sure that you're fucking stout, strong, or if you're worried, you could go down to a local potion shop. Maybe to get yourself a tincture and fucking take care of that.
I'm not particularly worried, but there's this tree-hugging hippie paladin with us. Yeah, exactly.
You don't have a paladin yet, so.
Oh, we don't. Okay, there.
Paladin hasn't been introduced
Tiny
yet.
bard who doesn't even like fighting.
Yeah. We'll change that to the bar.
The bard,
Oh,
the bard.
she's pretty big, actually.
She's pretty big, but she acts tiny.
Yeah. Got this weird companion that just doesn't want to kill people. I don't understand.
Well, to be fair, I don't like killing people either. Mostly because they don't pay me. Or they don't earn enough to pay their fucking tab.
Yeah. Horrible people. Okay. So I ask him exactly where these woods are. So,
Yeah, you're definitely fucking new to this place.
I am.
Just
I am.
head east. You'll just hit it. There's trees for days.
Thank you for the information.
Is he like trying to like clean one of the mugs? It's just not working as his rag is filthy. And he seems to be like looking at you expectantly.
Let me help you with
I'll
that.
flip him another silver. And then 2 more for another drink.
Okay. As he catches the silvers, he pockets them with dirty fingers, and he pours you another drink of Court's Challenge. Make a Constitution saving throw, please.
No.
10.
10. That hammer just kept hitting you in the head, and then it was joined by a second. and yeah, you're starting to cough and wheeze now, and that stout, dirty dwarf is doubled now. There's 2 of them. You are now poisoned, you're under the poison condition. So pretty much everything you do is with disadvantage now.
All right.
But you feel good.
I do feel good.
It's confident.
Gives me great
Squeege,
confidence I can do anything.
your wine has been ruined by the dirty terracotta mug. Bits of terracotta dust are just floating in it.
I drink it anyway and crunch up the chew on the bits.
Yes, as you like just anytime a bit of terracotta just goes kind of tastes like home actually. I mean, except for with wine.
It's nostalgic.
Yep. You're fine though. You're not even buzzed. It'd take at least another drink quickly. So, anything else you'd like to do?
I'm good.
All right. Lenore, you are making your way across the field up to.
Before all that, while I was following her, I know that you mentioned that she talked to somebody.
Mhm.
Was I able to overhear a possible name for her? See if anyone called her by a specific name.
No.
Okay.
No, they just said, "Oh, hey, hi." It was just, quick platitudes. Nothing too bad.
Has she entered the barn or any buildings near it?
Yes, she's well ahead of you by a good 60 feet as she makes her way into the lumber yard. You can see a large brass sign affixed over the huge bay doors in which these carts of lumber, which you can still see dripping from the river in which they were pulled from.
I'm going to actually try to approach her.
Okay, she's 60 feet ahead of you. Do you call out to her, or do you just run up to her?
Well, running up to somebody after she unknowingly was being followed does not sound like a really good idea. I'm going to call out.
Okay.
How to say this without being rude? Oh, actually, he was raised in this. Call out now as loud as I can project and go. No, shit, this is hard. I'm used to playing rude characters.
I know. But you wanted to step out of your comfort zone.
Yeah. I shout out, excuse me, milady.
Tips Fedora.
Tips Fedora. Suddenly grows a neck beard.
Well, he's also used to people that are way more rich than he is and sucking up to him, so...
Right,
That's
right.
usually the safe...
So it's being
courteous.
being of a different time period, she stops and looks curiously over her shoulder, but she looks guarded. As you close the distance slowly and unthreateningly.
And I will stop at least 10 feet away from her, just keep a respectable distance so she
Okay.
doesn't feel any more threatened.
She's still looking over her shoulder. She seems to be clutching her shawl a little tighter. You can see human, late 30s, well-to-do, fair skin, hair in a loose bun in the back, slightly kind of like platinum with a little bit of gray tinge to it. she goes, yes?
I could not help but overhear that earlier when you were talking to a guard, or what appeared to be a guard, for my case, about tribute and the situation that you're in. And I was wondering if there's any more information you can give me about it, because I feel like that we could possibly help each other.
She looks a little skeptical. Make a persuasion check.
No, 10.
She seems to righten herself up a bit. She goes, "Sir, it is rather rude to not give proper introductions first."
My apologies. My name is Lesenlor, and I was sent here to help determine if the rumors that are coming out of here are true or false. And if they are false, I feel that it would probably be beneficial if I were to lay these rumors to rest.
Sorry, I have to mute this chat. She looks at you rather skeptically. I'm Madam Hayes, and we are fine by ourselves, I think.
Well, I hope you would pardon my language for what I'm about to say. But from what I can see around the village, and from a few people who've interacted on the way here, that's a bold-faced lie. There.
Go ahead and make another persuasion check.
15.
15? She seems to soften and look around. Goes, "Alright, Violet Hayes, and come with me."
Inside.
Yeah. Insight check?
Yep. 8. Yeah, that's failed.
Yeah, she's, she seems genuine. She's a little worried as she's looking around, as she beckons for you to follow her around, around the main building.
All right.
Okay. After a little bit of while, she leads you to a staircase that is on the outside of the building up to a second story, as she produces a wrought iron key and opens up a door. The sound inside the building is very loud, and she leads you down a hallway toward past several offices where you can see several people in there screaming about ledgers and destinations for shipments. She leads you to the back. It smells strongly of sawdust, the loud shouts of people directing various trees to different stages for debarking, detwigging, and planing to make logs into actual lumber. Let me just close that a bit. There we go. She leads you to a quieter back office as she produces another key and unlocks it, and inside is a more cozy office. It's still slightly dusty from sawdust motes floating through the air that permeates the entire building. And she directs you to a comfy armchair as she sits in a similar chair, no, sorry, she doesn't sit in an armchair. She walks over to a wooden stove in the corner and coaxes a flame and puts a kettle on to make tea.
Alright. I'll sit in the chair, and before she will say anything, and Madam Hayes, before we begin, I wish to inform you that everything here will be said in utmost confidence, and that if we do reach an agreement, no reward is necessary.
She gives an audible sigh. Good. Yeah, I'm sorry, that's not good. Everything is slowly falling apart. I mean, we're the largest provider of the town, and we're being bled dry. This, as you can see, is the Clear Lane Cuttery. It's owned by my father, Melville Clear Lane. As she, like a tear, like wells up in her eyes. My husband refused to pay tribute. Was one of the first to succumb to the wither.
How did the weather come to pass on the town? Because some people either don't know or aren't forthcoming. Did it just suddenly appear, or is it true if they said that this timber maiden, or whatever she claims to be, came and it just showed up?
Yeah, as her voice quivers slightly, the kettle begins to whistle as she gets up from her armchair and busies herself, trying to compose herself, with making 2 cups of tea. She goes, sorry, as her hands are shaking as she hands you a cup and saucer. I'd ask what you preferred, but I only have the one type now.
That is alright.
Right. The Timber Maiden, she arrived almost 4 months ago. She was just so beautiful, arriving out of the woods. The clear cutters were out there exploring, finding new clearings of trees to find various woods. The woods has several different types of trees, and each one is coveted for a different reason. And they were scouting out new locations to begin clear cutting when they came across this beautiful woman coming out of the fog. She told them that if they would just give her a small trifle, that she would give them unearthly blessings. Some of them just laughed and just said no. Others were stricken by her beauty and gave her coin. And she smiled at them and gave them a kiss on the forehead. And that was Scott. He's the most blessed man in the town right now. He very next day he got a windfall from an inheritance. The old lost grandfather had passed away and left everything to him. he was smart, he moved away. Everybody else, like, over the next few weeks, were amazed. They went out into the woods to see this woman. She didn't come, but on the full moon, she came walking through the town this time. Anybody she came across, she would ask them for a tribute. If they said nothing, she did nothing. If they gave her something, she would give them a blessing in turn. It was only after the second visit that, in the second lunar cycle, that she came, and then she swallows hard. She started cursing those who did not give her tributes. Anybody who didn't give her a tribute, she would sneer at them, and the next day a fog would enter into their homestead, and then a cough would develop at first. Then the cough would continue, and as the days would go on, a vein would appear, and then it would spread. Just blacken their skin until they lost so much weight. My husband was one of those that refused her in that second visit. Very next lunar cycle, he died. The town guard had to kill him again. We tried to bury him, but he came out of the ground. Until after that, anytime anybody has the wither and it's the last week, they're forced out into the woods, where they die and remain there still. A few of the guards were brave enough to try and go find this timber maiden. Most of them never came back, and the two that did, they said that those that they sent out into the woods came back to bring horrible revenge and protect the timber maiden.
How does she demand tribute now?
Now she doesn't even walk amongst us anymore. We hear the bell. It's not like the church bell. It's more of a dull thong, of a rumble, and we've been directed to a clearing where we're to leave the tribute there, and she knows.
She knows that it's there, and
she knows who left tribute. The remaining guards escort us out into the woods so that we may make tribute. And we give them a small cut so that they can make tribute in turn. She seems to reward the hunters that provide her a carcass of an animal. But she's not particularly picky. She'll take gold or trinkets.
When is the next trinket due?
The next full moon in just about 2 weeks.
Where is this clearing? Maybe I can gather a few of the people who I traveled with who seem to have similar intentions about the village. We can go to that clearing and see if we can find out where she is.
It's about half a day's travel. The hunters are the best bet, or the guards. They always guide everyone.
Well, after After you mentioned how the guards went out and you said 2 of them came back,
Yes.
I'm probably not going to put much trust into them.
She just, weakly smiles. Goes, I don't know how much longer we'll last, but everyone's afraid that their tribute will be too small.
Well, from where I came from when it came to gods, for the tributes, most of them didn't care about what kind of tribute or how much. They just cared about their tenets. If you followed them, and if you gave them, it's just whatever you can give. So if she keeps demanding more and more tribute,
She doesn't seem to demand anything other than tribute, but I've seen people who have given tribute fall. So she's not communicating. But then again, the gods never do.
but at the same time, to me it seems more and more likely that she's not even working for a god. So, I move the stand up, I thank her for her time, and say, hopefully by the next full moon, this issue is resolved.
She weakly smiles and looks at her undrunken cup in her hand. She goes, please. As she just keeps staring into her cup and you see tears drying down her eyes. You make your way out.
And right before I get to the door, it's like, and what happened to your husband's body? Is it still wandering around out there? Or was it...
We burned him.
If she's mortal, we'll burn her body for you.
She just weakly smiles as you close the door softly behind you and make your way out. And I think this is a good time for a break.
Yes. Hi, this is Chris from Cats and Crowbars. I hope you have a cat-tastic day while listening to this podcast.
Alright. And we're back. Fulgar, Squeak, you guys just... one of you is stumbling out of the tavern, and the other one is, reminiscing about home. What are you guys up to?
Alright, my quiet companion, where do we go next?
Just kind of shrug. Ask for another wine.
You go back into the tavern?
Oh. Got the information I wanted, so I'm gonna go, I guess, wander around and try to find these guys.
Okay.
Really out of the way for me.
If I even see him, I stumble left, back and
Yeah,
forth.
go ahead and make just make a perception check.
Let's see, that would be a 19. I'm a perceptive drunk.
Oh.
Oh wait, he's poisoned, isn't he?
Yeah, it's with disadvantage.
Oh, you're.
but-
Oh, hold on. I am not a perceptive drunk.
Thanks for God.
9.
Okay. So, it takes a little while, but there's just something like calling you, and it takes you a little while to figure out that it's church bells. As you're slowly stumbling down, just following the sound of gong, marking off the hour 10 in the morning. Takes you a little while to get there, and just as you're arriving, Ophlia kind of hurriedly exits, casting a slightly nervous glance over her shoulder at the patrons within.
Do I notice her?
Yeah. It's pretty hard to miss a very red, goat-legged tiefling.
Oh, okay, expect to see.
Oh,
Oh, it's picking?
Sorry, yeah, you're clipping slightly.
Okay.
Okay, it seems to be working now.
Yep. Oh, hey, I didn't really expect to see you guys here.
oh, hi, my hoofed friend. Or no, what was I called you before? Horns?
Yeah, horns.
Oh, horns. We found a great place. Great drinks. You should come have some.
Oh, I'm not much of a drinker.
Of course.
Yeah, well, it happens. I'm glad you guys had fun, though. Are you guys coming here for any reason?
I'm just wandering, trying to find everyone. We found where the god is to kill.
Oh, okay. And that'll be interesting if we can do that.
No ifs.
I was about to go shopping around if you guys wanted to join.
Shopping.
Yeah.
That
And her tail kind of wags a little bit.
Yeah, you see the tuft at the end of her red tail just like swish back and forth.
And what kind of shopping are you thinking of doing?
Oh, I don't know. I was gonna go looking for a bookstore, maybe a tapestry store, a trinket store that might have some interesting items.
I think both of us are just like looking at each other like, what?
Do you have any idea where the others are? Where'd that annoying cat go? I haven't seen him in a while.
I don't know where he went. I know that Manzel said that he was going to go to the Springvine Inn, so maybe Cosmic went there.
Inns have food. That sounds like a good place. We should.
Yeah. We can find that place, and I guess you kind of want to sleep, seeing as you can't seem to stand straight.
Yeah,
I don't know what you're talking about.
You're slightly sweaty and just like swaying a little bit.
We can find the inn, and you guys can get a room. I'm still probably gonna end up shopping though, so.
You want to go find a room? That's where we go.
as Squeege nods. You guys ask around. It's not too hard. Very close to where the elixir merchant was peddling his wares. Just slightly off to the side, you see a large 3-story building with 2 decks and trellises out there, and it says Springvine Inn, and everything seems to be like all the wooden pillars are etched with creeping vines that slowly spiral up to the staircases and the overhangs. You guys enter. It's slightly bustling. There seems to be a few people sitting down for a meal off into the corner. You see a countertop with key rack. Some of the keys are missing off the rack, but many more still remain. A woman in her early 20s, light brown hair, wearing just middle of the road standard clothes, greets you. Welcome to the Springvine Inn.
Morning, madam. Do you have food?
Of course.
Well, order us up some plates.
Right. So we have game. We have chickens, eggs, bread from the local bakeries. What you looking for?
Chicken sounds amazing.
Chicken, right. Roast chicken. That'll be 2 copper. And it comes with with just some water. If you wish for more fare, that's more.
I'll upgrade to L.
Right, another 2 copper on top of that. Just continuing the day drinking. So that'll be 4 copper for you.
Would you like anything? Oh, this math. Math is hard.
All of the maths.
All of the maths, yeah.
I'm just a barbarian.
Okay, it's 2 copper for pretty much anything you wish to eat. So go ahead and mark off the both of you 2 copper. Unless of course you're gonna take your food up to another room. As you sit down, she calls out, "You looking for a place to stay? Fresh faces."
Oh, yeah, I guess we could sleep.
It's not like that though.
Of course, right. Room fare is 5 silver a night.
What do you think? 3 rooms for all of us?
I don't mind sharing.
How
Kinda
many
small.
do your rooms hold? Why?
Each of them has 1 bed. There's one for a gold that has 2.
I can sleep on the foot of your bed like a dog.
I thought Squeak was probably going to do that with Creeper. Wait, does Creeper already have a room then?
Nobody's asked. Nobody's seen Creeper.
Nobody hasn't. By chance, was there a tabaxi that came in and got a room?
As she quickly laughs, like, "Oh yeah, don't get much of that at times. He looks rather tired. Went up to his room already."
Okay, so that's one of us. I don't know how you guys feel about sharing rooms. So I guess I'll just get a room for myself, and if anybody wants to split it or something, just tell.
I'm not opposed to sharing.
I'm not even there.
Yeah, you're not there yet.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have commented like, wait, I'm not there.
I'll split a room with you, Horns.
Okay, that sounds good. So one room, please.
Okay. You pass over 5 silver.
5 silver. Okay.
She seems to get the fact that you're looking for Creeper, and she lets you know which room he's in. So Squeech, you can go hang out in his room.
I'll go disturb his cat nap.
Yeah. You go up to his room, which is on the 3rd floor. He is just passed out, boots still on, just like shirt half off. Just that's about as far as he got, was taking off his shirt and didn't even get to the boots yet.
Nocturnal life.
What kind of animal pick off their shoes first?
I don't know, he's a weirdo.
What kind of
He's a
animal?
tabaxi. Alright, so, if you want, you can have your meal up in the room so that you're comfortable.
Yeah. I'm gonna do that. So I can take the mask off.
Yeah, so it's 2 copper for food.
I'll stay down in the.
Yeah. Chicken comes like 30 minutes later. It's damn good. And Ophlia, are you eating or are you gonna go shopping? Also, are you going to relate any information that you had?
I told her I knew where to go kill the god.
Right, but you also heard of some of the dangers out in the woods.
Ophlia's shop.
I wasn't too concerned with the dangers.
Okay.
A barbarian concerned about the dangers. Usually it's the opposite.
Alright, so Awfully, are you eating? You have a room now?
She's still gonna go shopping.
Okay, so you go out into the town. What particular are you looking for?
She is looking for trinket shop, bookshop, or possibly like a shop that she thinks something historical might be held.
Okay, go ahead and make an investigation check. As you're chatting with people and gazing about.
People want to talk with the giant horned red thing.
Yeah, people like become friendly after they talk to you, but when they first see you, it's all scowls and.
Yeah, it shows with that 11.
It takes you a while. Most of them won't give you the time of day as they quickly like leave the area, just like pulling shawls or coats over their heads to try and avoid contact with you. After about like 30 minutes of moving around, you see a boarded up, what looks like trinket shop. It says Gregor's Goods in old weathered lettering, but it is boarded up. A little while down the road, you see a shop which emanates an interesting smell. It's called Misty Cupboards, and it appears to it has the runic symbol for magic items. And further down the road, you hear a blacksmith. Oh, sorry. There's a magic shop called Misty Cupboards. It seems to have an unusual smell emanating from it. And further down the road, you can hear the hammer falls of a blacksmith. And just barely through the fog, you can make out a sign that says "Hammer Out."
Okay. You said there was a magic shop?
Magic shop called Misty Cupboards.
Okay. Give me 1 second. She's gonna go into the magic shop.
Okay, you enter into the shop. Sitting on a stool is a gnomish fellow. He hops down excitedly and comes trumping up to you.
Oh, hello, how are you? Welcome to Misty Cupboards.
As you look around, it's a smaller shop. There's a couple of suits of armor, a small rack of scrolls, and behind glass you see what looks to be potions and a couple of rings.
Okay.
And off to the right-hand side, you see inks, parchment, quills, anything that you would actually know to be used for spell books and ritual castings. There also seems to be a large drawer cupboard full of, and even peeking out from the closed drawers to be spell components.
Yes, welcome to the Misty Cupboards. What are you looking for? How can I dazzle you?
Oh, it's very nice to meet you. I'm actually curious if you might have some ritual scrolls or ritual spells or anything like that.
Ritual scrolls.
And she's gonna snap her fingers to show that she knows how to do them. She's gonna switch off her fingers and then snap him to appear right next to her.
Ha! As he lights up. Fantastic! The people around here are so droll. I don't ever get any customers. This is exciting. They're always like, oh, the Timber Maiden, she cometh. What do you got to protect me against the Timber Maiden? Right, nothing. Not in that business. As he looks slightly flustered and embarrassed that he can't help.
Yeah.
But, a caster such as you, fantastic. I do have a few ritual spells. Let us see. Here we go. I have, as he rummages through the bottom of the scroll rack, he pulls out, I have this, comprehend languages.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yes, this spell. Once you read it and master it, you'll be able to read any language. I mean, it gives you the literal translation, and many a fool has lost a part of their foot because they didn't decipher a trap properly. But,
Oh, yeah.
but you know, it's the hazards. You gotta know, you have to have your wits about you.
I couldn't agree more. How much would the scroll be?
Alright. Sorry, hold on. Looking up. Crafting an item, 128. Okay, so. Here we go. For this. Let me roll for it. Ha! This particular scroll will set you back 200 gold pieces.
Oh, that is quite a bit.
Oh, no, sorry. Rolled on the wrong table.
Oops.
Yep.
We're doing a special discount today.
Nope. It's cheaper. It's cheaper to be 200 gold pieces.
Oh no.
Oh.
It's on sale for 500 gold pieces.
Well, you want a bargain, huh?
Oh, sorry. Half off. 100 gold pieces. It's a consumable. I forgot. It's a consumable.
Yep. That is
A scant 100 gold pieces for comprehending any language. Save your butt.
That is quite tempting, quite a fetching price for something so special.
Right. So, not up your alley, not up your alley. How about, haha, here we go. This is a rather unusual one, very hard to come by. Divine casters don't ever make scrolls. It's the funniest thing, don't you think? This right here
It really is.
This is a scroll that allows you to call out to the spirits of nature. When you cast it, you gain wild cunning. You can track any animal that is within a certain range, of course. You could find suitable shelter, even in the most bleakest of conditions, like dark thunderstorms or blinding snow. If you're in a hurry, the spirits of nature can actually break down the campsite, leaving no trace behind that you were ever there.
Oh, that's interesting.
If you're parched, it can help you find drinkable, clean, pure water in any landscape.
Sorry, I'm looking for what it is.
It's a spell called Wild Cunning.
I don't see it on my spellbook app.
It's from Unearthed Arcana.
Oh, okay. Oh, how much would this be?
Haha! This one will run you 100 gold pieces.
Oh, they're the same. Oh, interesting.
Well, they're all roughly the same level of difficulty, my lass.
Would she even be able to cast this one?
Make a Arcana check.
Oh, I bet I'm great at those. Checking.
Well, actually, no. He already told you. It requires a divine caster.
Yeah, it requires a divine caster.
Yeah, it's a ranger druid spell. So.
Yeah. So no, she couldn't pass it.
If one of the party members become a divine caster, this scroll would help them.
This would, but she doesn't know the party that well yet.
Now you could. Actually, you would be able to cast this spell. You just wouldn't be able to learn it, even with our house rules.
Yeah, and
So it'd be a one-time use
just
only.
took ritual casters. So that's why I was looking at.
Well, yeah. It being a ritual spell, it being a spell scroll, it would still consume the spell scroll.
Right. Yep. Okay.
No, not interested? Well, maybe scrolls aren't what you're looking for then. Or perhaps maybe come back when you've had a windfall. This timber maiden seems to be blessing people. Of course, they're also ruining my business. But
I can imagine. I noticed that you had rings in the shelf over there. What sort of rings?
ah, yes, I do have rings over here. I have with me, if the damn notes would load. Come on. There we go. Aha! I have here a ring that will help you swim.
Ooh.
And it will only cost you a mere, wow, 120 gold. What was I thinking?
Well, sometimes business can do this.
But, we have very swift currents around here, so it'll be very helpful, I'm sure.
I'm sure. You know what? I think I'm actually gonna go with that first spell scroll that you showed me.
Really? Alright, 100 gold for a scroll of comprehend languages. Ooh, I also have, if you're interested, this ring of prestidigitation.
Oh wait, I just put that.
A ring of prestidigitation.
Oh, okay. Oh, how much is that, actually?
A scant 75 gold pieces.
Alright, I think I'm actually gonna... Okay, so I'm gonna switch up really quick. I'm gonna go ahead and get the ring of prestidigitation then, and I will hopefully come back to get the spell scroll.
Ha! Of course, dear, of course. So, 75 gold pieces as he pulls out a simple ring that appears to be made of hard stained wood. It has several etchings of a runic nature across it. It seems to have a spiral grain with a black obsidian set on the top. And this ring will allow you to cast prestidigitation and will impress your friends with pyrotechnics and smells. Also flavor milk.
Yes. I've actually been meaning to get something to help one of my traveling companions.
Oh, fabulous! As you hand over the gold, he seems eager to finally have, a paying arcane business partner.
Yep. And as she's paying, she'll have a switch, run around, look interested, and No, he's not touching anything. He's just trying to like play with the gnome's shoelaces and such.
Oh, I kind of forgot he was there.
As you see, like there's a censer in the back emitting poofs of colored smoke occasionally in interesting rings, shapes. At one point, there's a unicorn that jumps through a hoop and then just puffs into smoke. That appears to be what's making the very pungent smell in the place.
Okay. Oh, I believe I missed your name, by the way. I'm Aflia Avi.
I'm Tonka.
Tonker?
Tonka truck.
Tonka.
Tonka, okay.
Yes, my friends make fun of me, but I'm Tonka Glimstead, at your service.
I think it's a very fitting name. It is a pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure. Please come back. Tell your friends.
I will. And she'll go ahead and leave the store with Switch.
he smiles as Switch like brushes past him.
Yeah.
All right.
And then as she exits, what time is it?
It's close to noon now. You left as your friends, or at least those that you've seen, have been getting food. You're pretty hungry yourself. Breakfast this morning was very scant. It was like the last dregs of whatever burnt moldy toast.
Time to go find a pastry shop.
You have passed a bakery, and as you're walking, you see Leslinor also trudging down the street.
She'll give him a friendly wave. And Switch is again hiding like in her shoulders in her head.
All right. As Switch nuzzles up into your shoulders.
Yeah. So she'll wave at Leslinor.
Do you wave back?
Yes.
I just found the
no,
most
stop
wonderful
her.
magic shop.
Stop her.
Yeah, she's going for the other keyboard. Sorry, listeners. Cat is going for a keyboard. Yep. Perfect. All right. As Aflia calls out to you, Leslinor, you wave back. You guys are now together. What would you like to do?
So, what are you up to now?
Oh, I think I'm gonna go to the bakery and pick up a few cakes. Maybe test out this new ring that I got. She's showing the ring of prestige.
As she shows you off this wooden ring, as she slips it on her finger, she produces a small puff of scented wind.
Do you know where everybody else is?
I think everyone went to this Grapevine Inn.
What direction is this in?
She's gonna tell generally where it was. It's by the well, wasn't it?
Yeah, she gives points you back in the direction of the well where you saw the alleged charlatan.
All right. I'll meet you back at the inn.
Okay. Yeah, she's just gonna go shopping still.
Okay, easy enough. You find a few bakeries. As you peruse them, they have like cinnamon rolls. They have standard like bread, wheat, rye. A couple of them have a couple of cupcakes.
Fine.
I'm sorry, what?
She's gonna buy the biggest cinnamon roll they have.
The biggest cinnamon roll they have. You get chatting excitedly with one of them about sweets, and for 5 copper they custom roll out a cinnamon roll that is the size of a dinner plate.
Yes!
It takes them about an hour to roll it out, season and bake it, but you easily wait, and you hand over your 5 silver.
Oh, it's 5 silver?
Oh no, sorry, 5 copper. 5 copper.
Okay.
I'm just mesmerized by the cat.
Nails.
After she gets her... Oh, jeez. She's just... I just see her in the bottom half of this camera.
Yeah, no, I know. I was. She didn't interrupt the last podcast, but this one she wants to be a part of.
Yeah, crawl
Well,
over.
it is Cats and Crowbars.
Right?
She's the cat, we're the crowbars, I guess.
Yeah.
Yep.
I got a few punctures.
But yeah, so she'll go ahead and buy the cinnamon roll. Once it's ready, she'll head back to the inn.
Okay. You make your way to the inn, Les Lenore. About 40 minutes later, Ophlia comes in. Your meal is in front of you. Whichever you choose, it's basically 2 copper. Unless, of course, you wish to add ale or something stronger on top of that. I'm assuming you bought another drink?
Yes.
Yeah, that's another 2 copper on top of that. You are
How much in
getting
total is this?
Cool.
2 copper for food, 2 copper for drinks,
And then the rooms are
5 silver
a day?
a day.
Everyone bought what? Room one day? Everyone bought?
So far, people have only paid for 1 day.
Is there a large crowd in the inn?
It's lunchtime now, being noon, when Ophlia shows up, and so it's starting to get a little fuller as patrons are coming in and calling out to the barmaid as she flirts with a few of them and just winks at others. She's handing off drinks and food as the clear cutters are coming back from the woods with the sweat of midday upon them.
Alright. I stand up and I see all the clear cutters. I said, I challenge any of you all to an arm wrestling contest.
Make a persuasion check with no, just straight because you're drunk and they can see that.
That's a 4?
4. You see a couple of sweaty grime on them, like a couple of them have bits of forest in their hair. They just kind of just shove past you on their way to their tables.
I'll make it even better. 2 for 1. 2 copper for. I'll bet 2 copper. Or if you win, I'll give you 4 copper. If I win, you give me 2 copper.
With your stumbling drunken boast, go ahead and make a persuasion with advantage.
God, I suck today. That's a 7.
They're hardworking men about their business, getting close to the end of the month where their time is more valuable. They pay you no heed.
Bunch of wimps. I go back to my L.
A little sad. You order another cup, which costs you another 2 copper.
Yeah, Ophlia's gonna sit next to him and pat him on the back, and as she does so, use the ring of prestidigitation to clean some of the grime off of him.
You're definitely less grimy as she just pats you and just like a wave, you become clean. You haven't been this clean in... You don't remember. Definitely don't remember. You're drunk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So the party assembles. A new fellow enters into the tavern looking for food. John, if you wish to describe yourself.
So, Abram enters this tavern, kind of, he's cut some, mud on his boots. He has lots of flowers and herbs and other flora kind of entwined into his chainmail. And he's got his silver hair kind of like, not super long, but coming down to, his shoulders about. And he's got the sword kind of at his hip, a long sword, shield on his back. Everything's got kind of a green, dusty cover to it, like pollen or some such. It's apparent that he's been out in the forest. Not necessarily in the forest, but he's been outside the entire day. Just, not really sure what he's been doing. Just chilling. Looking at the flowers.
Yeah, as you see a half-elven gentleman entering into the bar, just looking like the woods themselves. Yeah, it's interesting. You've all seen half-elves, but they're usually like 1 in 100 in some places and 1 in 1,000 in others. They're definitely...
We have 2 in the same room.
Yep.
It's so far, the only other half-elf that you've seen in this town is Leslinor. Everybody else is almost entirely human. There's a dwarf or 2 here, and you've seen 1 elf running around, and 1 of you has met a gnome. Everybody else is pretty much a human. You Abram, are looking around. Most of the tables are full, except for 1 table which seems to have a few spaces on it, but is people that you have never seen in this town. You've been here for 5 days or so, since the loss of your horse to monsters in the woods.
I'd like to go to the bar and order some food.
Yeah, the bar matron greets you with a smile, charges you your 2 copper for food, and if you wish for anything stronger than water.
Ask her are there any vegetarian options?
Water's vegetarian.
Well, for food anyway.
Yeah. I mean, we've got potato stew, which comes with it. We could just dole out more potato stew.
I'll take one of those and some water, please. Thank you.
Right. Perfect. As she takes your copper, she quickly comes out with potato stew as it's already prepared, and just kind of most of the patrons just have it as a side. As you make your way to the only table that appears to have spaces, which is next to Leslinor, Volgar, Squeege, and Ophlia.
Okay. Grab my food and go sit down.
If you guys wish to give a quick description of yourselves, because I don't believe John has your descriptions yet.
Okay.
Ophlia?
Okay. Ophlia is a red-skinned, 5'10" tiefling. She has raven black hair and 2 horns that are curved oddly back. She definitely likes cake. She's got a very large tail. She also has large goat legs with cloven hooves that are almost the size of a plate.
Wow.
She has golden eyes with no pupil, and she's missing her right canine tooth.
Okay.
Leslinor?
He is 5'11". He has a slightly tanned skin, like he's been out, but not as long as everybody else usually is for when you factor in like a hard day's work and everything.
Mm-hmm.
He has a short, kind of sandy blonde hair, and his eyes are just a little bit of a hazel. If you want to go with outside game, he looks like a stereotypical surfer.
Okay.
But not as much of an asshole.
Okay, Cowabunga.
Alright, Volgar. I want to say I said he was 6'4", and I didn't write it down.
Yeah, I believe you said 6'3", 6'4".
Yeah. Yeah, big, blonde-haired, wavy out. What did I say? David, or not David Hasley? No.
You said Aryan last time.
But yeah, the perfect Aryan child,
God.
blue eye. Yeah, the wavy hair that is just immaculate.
Yeah, obviously.
No matter how much grime he seems to have on his face, his hair is just poster perfect.
Okay.
Squeege, how do you look in your disguise?
Squeege is small. He is, I think I said about 2.5 feet tall.
Okay.
And he's just got this big cloak roped around him. And
You barely see Kenku
the
beak.
beak of a kenku sticking out of it.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, you don't under the sweeping cloak. You don't see feet. All you see is just the hood and
Kind of
the very last 2 inches of beak. You don't even see hands in this disguise.
Oh, okay, really cloaked over.
Oh yeah, like I'm sick grandma
Yeah.
blanket hoodie thing going on there.
He's
Okay.
got the freaking Afghan.
Okay.
Yeah, the big old hovering Afghan.
Alrighty.
No, the bottom 2 inches of the cloak is just caked in dirt and mud.
Alrighty. So I'm sitting at the table with you guys?
Yep.
So when he sits down, pretty much when I see him, I'm just like, so you come to challenge me in my arm wrestling contest I offered?
No, I'm good, friend. But how are you today?
Why are you here if you're not going to arm wrestle?
You seemed like some nice fellow companions to have a nice chat with. Are you guys been outside today?
He's been outside today.
Oh.
You seem like the junior high school guidance counselor.
Have you? Yeah. Have you seen the sun today? Was it? Yeah.
Every time I pick my glass up, I see the sun.
Yeah. Yeah. Take an inspiration for that. Dungeon Master inspiration. For these games, it carries over, and it's a D10. It never goes any higher, and it never goes any lower.
Okay.
So, yeah, like I said, go ahead and mark Dungeon Master inspiration.
Yeah, so Opli is going to smile and say, "It's pleased to meet you. My name is Apia." And she holds out her hand.
I go to shake it and Abram, pleasure to meet you.
So do you live here?
Oh no. My poor horse struck down not too far outside the town. Just riding through. But strike down and I guess I ought to get a new horse while I'm here.
Yeah, so I couldn't help you much there.
Have you seen any stable around town? I've been yet to see anywhere that sold horses.
And as you're thinking back, the entire time that everyone's been here, aside from horses that are strapped to carts already, there have been no riders on horses by themselves, and there appears to be no sounds or smells of active stables.
Oh man.
It appears that horses are amongst the carcass animals that are being presented.
Well, Yeah, I want to finish up kind of eating my meal and sipping on my
Yeah,
water.
there's a slight moment of awkward silence as you guys all dig into your various amounts of food.
Good vegetarian water.
Yeah, your potato stew. It's actually seasoned quite well. It's got shallots and pepper and pinch of salt.
Is there any music playing, by the way?
There is one guy strumming up a lazy tune in the corner. He's okay. He seems to be playing and then forgets the next couple of chords and then decides to play a different song.
After Ophia's done eating, she's gonna pull out her violin and walk over to him, just kind of be like, "Do you mind if I play with you?"
He looks over. Yeah, alright, fine. Cool. As he scoops up the meager amount of tips that are currently in the hat at his feet, he goes, "We split?" as he puts the hat back down.
Yes.
Perfect. And he strums his guitar, and it picks back up. It's a tune that you're familiar with, at a tempo you're not used to. It's a little bit faster than you normally play this song yet, but you seem to figure, based off of the songs he was playing before, that's a local flavor.
Okay. So roll performance.
Yeah, roll performance, please.
Just a flat performance.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, that is a lot. 24? 25.
25. Being in the presence of somebody who is more practiced, he quickly stops trying to be the lead and starts being an accompaniment. He quickly starts deferring to you for tempo changes, and when he begins to falter, and when he would normally switch to a different song, he goes, "Oh right, that's how it goes," and then he continues on, only having a couple of stumbles in chords before he continues the song.
Okay.
So,
And Ophlia, as she does this, is going to add some flair with her prestidigitation. Or not. Wait, no, she has both now. She can do either prestidigitation or the thaumaturgy.
okay, you'll have to pick one because of concentrating while doing the performance. So, prestidigitation or thaumaturgy.
I was checking that. I was checking which one I could do better.
Well, it's the same, it's just a different flavor.
It is, I know. Let's just do thaumaturgy and kind of amplify the music.
Okay, as you make it louder whenever it's good, and then kind of drop the thaumaturgy whenever he starts stumbling. You end up, by the end of a couple of songs, before he decides to take a break, you end up with 15 copper and 1 silver piece.
Cool. Making that money back for the ring of prestidigitation.
Slowly enough, yes. Okay.
Hey, we have a clean barbarian now.
He's still poisoned.
Always clean. See his hair?
Yeah. Cash money. Okay. You guys all finish up with your food. Volgar, you're starting to get... You're drunk and you're ready for a fight. And you heard there's a fight out in them woods.
There is a fight out in them woods. Let's go.
What?
I will, if everyone's there with me, I'll pass on everything that I find.
Ophlia steps off of the stage, having collected her half of the money, and that total I told you was your half of the money.
So I tell everybody, I'm like, this awesome bartender who gave me some really good drinks told me the god was out in the woods and that there's some cool shit out there we can kill.
I passed on what I
Of
learned.
course there is.
I passed on everything I had learned, and I said, based off what I was told, though, I don't think it's a god. I think it's a spellcaster.
God sounds much better.
It does sound much better. And I also promised the lady that we'll burn this woman up.
I can get behind that.
Because she forced her.
She's realizing she has no say in this matter.
No, this is more along the lines of.
At the same time, she got reason to enjoy.
This is more along the lines of. It has to be a balancing act. She killed her husband, brought him back, and they forced her to violate whatever beliefs that they had and basically set her husband's body on fire to make it ashes so it wouldn't rise again.
You had me sold at burned it. Yeah. You had me sold at burn him.
I understand. I'm not
Into that role play.
at all.
Well, it seems like you guys are on a pretty interesting little adventure. Me for one, I won't pass up an opportunity to go bask in nature. I'll come with.
Well, the good thing is we're actually
Well,
going
it's a
after
good thing we
somebody
invited you.
I mean, you're more than welcome to come, but one of the great things about this is this spellcaster is violating nature by creating undead.
Wait, what?
This, what do they call it again? The
Timber Maiden.
no, the disease that she.
Oh, the Wither.
Wither.
The wither is basically the people who are killed by it. They rise up as undead.
I kind of.
You've heard rumors of the Wither, but having it spelled out in black and white, everybody seems to be a little bit reluctant to speak on it.
Mm-hmm.
But
It makes my blood boil thinking about someone disrupting the balance that nature holds.
I'm a bad bard.
College of Whispers.
Well, that's my plan anyway.
But I'll absolutely, it is my duty as a paladin to make sure that the balances of nature are in order.
See, I get the two heaviest hitters to join me in my little thing.
Did you have to convince the hippie?
Did you have to convince the bloodthirsty barbarian?
Yeah.
I mean, I did have to try.
Go get a job, you can say it, or is it just a yes?
What was that?
Oh, is there a convincing of the bloodthirsty barbarian, or is it just yes?
It's just yes if you word it just right.
What word? Kill?
Kill, set fire, protect nature. See how that?
Yes, you went to kill something.
That's a good barbarian.
I know I'm gonna get that back like next Saturday for other day.
Yeah. All right, so, you guys already are forming together, yes?
And I also wanted to pass along the line that I have promised the lady that we're helping that there will be no reward for us.
What?
The only reward I need is nature coming back full circle.
I mean, I made that promise, but I made that promise for me. If you want something, you're more than welcome to. I'm already being paid for doing this by somebody
I
else.
thought the reward was killing a god.
Yes.
So that's fine.
Bloodthirsty grin just crosses Volgar's mouth.
Yes, we're killing a god.
I don't think Cosmic is gonna like that, but I suppose we can figure out the logistics later.
I mean, she's been having tribute brought to her by the villagers for God knows how long. You can take your share out of that, and the rest. We can take half of it and keep it for ourselves, and if whatever's left, we can give back to the villagers for what's being stolen.
All right.
We're helping them, but we're also getting paid for it for you guys.
Sounds So Volgar slams his cup on the table and says, "It's agreed. Let's go."
First,
He stands up violently.
first, you should probably sober up. You want to remember this great kill.
Make a wisdom check. You're drunk.
Ears turning. They're so rusty.
Advantage or disadvantage?
Should I roll
No,
perception
it's not
against
even
it?
a wisdom saving throw. It's just a wisdom check. Just roll, and then
15.
add your wisdom.
So let's see. You said not a saving throw, just my actual wisdom.
Yeah, what's the modifier?
17 then.
What's
Modifier is +2.
+2? Yeah, 17. It seems smart. It's up to you.
Fine.
Oh wait, it's with disadvantage. You're drunk.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Go for it.
14.
14.
+2 or
No, it's 12 plus.
So-
So it's 14 total.
yeah, it's up to you. It,
I mean, I'm not really drunk.
he says as he sways slightly.
I'm thinking beer fest.
have to, like,
Not
catch
that
up.
drunk.
Cheeky bastard! You hear the fucking dwarf from a different bar going, "Do it, you fucking fool!"
Right. The dwarf is right. I had to stand up. The dwarf is right. There it is.
There's no dwarf in this tavern.
I'm going to give him a slight little point and whisper very quietly while casting message.
Oh, nice.
So only he can hear it. If you're sober, you can enjoy it more. And you've already paid for the room.
I didn't pay for it. She did. Fine. I guess I can keep my killing for another day or for tomorrow.
Okay.
Oh, that's tough.
All right, Abram, you actually sleep in a different location.
Mm-hmm.
But you promised to meet up with them in the morning.
Okay.
If you wish to go shopping, you can. Everybody else, any activities before you guys go to bed? It's noon, so it's just assumed that you're going to pay another 2 copper for food.
Coffee will probably perform some more.
Okay. Make a performance check. Well, what's everybody else doing?
I'm assuming I'll probably end up eating at least one more chicken and a couple more drinks.
So yeah, 4 copper for you. Everybody else, at least 2 more copper for food.
I'm probably just gonna
Yeah,
bring a plate up to Cosmic if he's awake yet.
He is not. He is just dead to the world. Something about the trip has just exhausted him.
I get up to the room with the food and he's still dead to the world, so I'm just gonna sit on the bed and eat it myself.
What was your what was your performance?
18, 1-8.
By yourself, you earn an additional 8 copper and 1 silver.
Ooh.
And 2 of those copper will probably go for things. So.
Okay.
And 1 silver, you said?
And 1 silver.
Can I start training for a feat personally?
Not in this game, not without a teacher.
Okay.
So in this game, you can train for feats, but you need an instructor to at least start it.
Okay.
All right. And with that, we're going to take another break.
Alright, you be listening to Cats and Crowbars. Tune in every other Saturday as we post a new adventure.
Okay, so you guys have finished your meals. Ophelia has collected her earnings. There's still a few hours before dusk, and you guys go to bed if you so choose. Otherwise, we'll skip on to the next day. Anybody
Is Manson still in the area that we're at?
Yeah, go ahead and make a perception check.
Perceptive look.
Good old perceptive look. For the listeners in a previous campaign, players had confusion as to what perception and investigation did. So we made a pneumatic device percepta look and investa check. Yeah.
Septa looked at 16.
16. Casting your glance around, in a corner, just sitting down, is Mansell. You see his rusty red brown hair cascading over his shoulder in a loose braid. His full plate armor, or not full plate, half plate armor, dirtied up with dark paint, with several scratches, and you see Alvis up on his shoulders, feeding off of scraps that he hands to him.
We'll go ahead and walk over.
Okay, you move through the bustling crowd. A few people cast dirty glances in your way, others just try and get out of your way. As he looks up to you with his green eyes, he goes, "Ah! Oh, hello, Alfia."
Hey, Mansell. So, you've heard about the Timber Maiden, right? And she'll sit down with a...
Yeah, that's a new development.
Have you been here more than just this once?
Well, yeah. I stop by this area every couple of months. My company occasionally sends me out this way.
Right. So this is all new then. All of the way that this place is.
The people are the same, though they're a little more downtrodden than I remember. As I told you before, they're hard-working and set in their ways.
Right, yeah. You know, I've been looking around a lot today. There's no kids. Is that normal?
Yeah, I noticed that too. As he seems to sink into his cup a little bit, he's thinking, and Alvis starts licking his ear.
I think we're gonna go see if we can't help, and I don't know if you want to try to help as well. I thought I'd offer.
He goes, "Thanks for the invite. I think I'll take you up on that." As he smiles, I always fancied myself a protector. This might actually give me a real chance to be one.
You carry around that big sword and everything, though. I thought you would be a protector.
Yeah. It's a kind of a memento from my mentor. Growing up, he was my bodyguard. Part of a noble family. After the fires and the riot, I'm the only surviving member of that family, but it'd be nice to pay him back.
I can imagine, and I'm sorry that all happened. I know what it's like to lose family. Also, sorry about the dog making noises back here.
I barely heard him until you mentioned it. As the dog next to the counter gets shooed away and out into the streets.
I know what it's like to lose family, though, and it's always so hard. I know how important it is to pay people back. So, I think, if I'm not mistaken, we're leaving tomorrow morning to go out to the wood, if people want to join us.
Okay, sounds great. I have a room here, and I've concluded my business for the day. Or at least until I escort a caravan on its way out.
Alright, sounds good. I won't keep you around. I won't keep you here then if you're busy.
Perfect. I'll see you in the morning.
I'll see you in the morning.
As he waves down the tavern matron and orders another round of drinks. Anybody doing any shopping, or are you guys all going to bed?
I'm going to try to find and see if in the tavern, if anyone there is one of the local hunters.
Okay, go ahead and make a charisma check as you begin chatting up people. 6. Being an outsider and asking very pointed questions, you're a little excited at the success that you had earlier today, and you're not as subtle as your training has told you to be. You find yourself pulling back, having realized your rookie mistakes. But everybody else around in the tavern is now on guard for a half-elf, which stands out anyways, and his very directed questions. Okay. Anybody else?
I think Abram is gonna find a nice secluded spot outside and kind of put a whetstone over his blade, kind of sharpening.
Okay.
Pray to Wild Mother.
All right. As you make your way out, you've been in this town for a few days.
Mm-hmm.
You have your own specific haunts now. They're on the edges of the town, near the Wild Mother's temple, where you have it's not exactly a clear view of the night sky, what with the fog and the sea breeze casting its blanket over the town.
Mm-hmm.
But staring up the sky, you can see the moon waxing to full. Judging by how it is, it's got a little less than 2 weeks until it is a full moon once again.
Okay.
And you pass the whetstone over the blade in your nightly ritual.
There you go.
If you wish to try and converse with your goddess, you can make a religion check, or else it's just a nightly ritual.
Just a nightly ritual.
Okay. Just thoughts of the day and everything you've learned just pass over you as you eventually make your way back to the open sky temple, and a soft patch of branches and grass laid over in a bed make a comfortable place to sleep.
Good to me.
Okay. Anybody else?
Close to nature.
All right.
Go up to the room and throw off my disguise and just lay spread eagle on the floor.
Yeah. Finally free and actually able to be your koboldy self. You scratch at a patch of scales that's just been itching the whole dang day. You do a bit of self-care. Make sure that you're properly clean. Actually eat a bit of food that you left in the room and never actually ate, for fear of people discovering that you are a kobold. Cosmic just stirs slightly, but still seems to be catatonic. Yeah. Yeah. As you two eventually find exhaustive rest, you've been on edge for far too long, and you find yourself sleeping out of cycle now. Being a nocturnal creature, it's usually hard for you to fall asleep at night. But dawn approaches, you hear morning birds, and stirring of patrons downstairs, clear cutters coming in for a morning breakfast before they head out into the woods to find prized wood. You guys all come to consciousness, including you, Squeege. You're all fully rested. Any abilities or spells that you guys have used are restored. Any spells you wish to prepare, now that we have somebody who actually has to prepare spells. We're looking at you, John.
I know, I'm looking through it right now.
Yeah. Normally you'll fall into a rhythm. Paladins
Yeah.
usually have a specific spell set that they never change until something new presents itself.
So smite, and more smite.
Yeah, smite, and then bless.
Yeah. Well,
Oh, and compel duel. Don't forget compel duel.
Yeah.
It's a great first level spell.
well, I did not take Compel Duel. I took a Thunderous Smite and Cure Wounds.
You have 3 healers.
There we go.
More healing.
The 3 of you now make 1 healer.
And then I just need to die and make my cleric, and then we have 1.5 healers.
Don't
I'm
do
kidding
that.
about
Don't
that.
do that. All right. So you guys all begin your morning rituals. You come down. The tavern is starting to empty as the clear cutters usually head out as the sun begins to rise. It's hard to see it through the ever-pervasive fog and the smell of salt water and seabirds just off in the distance. Though you haven't seen the beach, you can tell that it is somewhere near. It's kind of odd you're in that weird specific region where you can hear seabirds as well as mainland woodland plain birds. What do you guys wish to do? You guys pay 2 copper again for a breakfast. Possibly 2 more for a morning beer. There you go.
Yeah.
I was
Hair of the dog.
right.
After
Your head
everyone
hurts.
leaves the room, Ockley is gonna set up to pray to the Changebringer again.
Okay. Go ahead. Are you just doing a morning salutation, or are you actually trying to commune?
She's just praying for guidance.
Okay,
at-
so
at
trying
what's
to
going on.
so trying to commune because you don't actually have to spell guidance.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead and make a religion check for me. As you settle yourself down, try and find a comfortable spot on the wooden floor. Cross your goat legs.
Yep, and she's doing the whole setup thing again with her tapestry and the amulet around her neck.
Okay. Reach out for.
And keeping in mind what she heard from Manzel the night before and how it can relate back to her as well. Just looking for guidance for everything.
Okay. Go ahead and roll the religion check.
What is that? That is an 8.
The travel and the fact that you can't find children, even though a vision has previously shown you children, is thrown you off guard. You can't find a comfortable position on this hardwood floor. And the day's worth of travel, you find your legs stiffer than they should be. You just can't concentrate.
Alright, well, she'll go down and try to find Manzel and meet up.
Easy enough. He's already finishing the last scraps of his breakfast. As you come scraping down, you see your other companions already down there, as Abram also makes his way into the inn.
I was gonna ask, is at the Wild Mother Temple, were they offering any selection of local berries?
The temple itself is an orchard.
Oh, yeah, you said that.
With
That's right.
with closely weaving branches that make up the canopy
Mhm.
and roof of the temple.
What kind of orchard
It's actually several different trees. There's oranges, apples, cherries,
I kind of.
and the perimeter of it is a mixture of blue and blackberries.
So as I'm leaving and I know I have to go meet with my buddies, I'm gonna kind of just reach up and pick an apple and pick an orange and maybe a cherry or two and just kind of snack on them as I walk to the tavern to meet with my buddies.
Of course. You even on the way out even grab 2 crab apples.
There you go. Perfect. Perfect morning in my case.
Yep. It's as you finish snacking on it, you even save some of the rind to make a tea or to
satchel.
Yep, keep it in a little satchel. You also know that several different types of fruit rinds, such as orange, can be used to compress wounds and stave off gangrene.
Okay.
Yep. You see your new acquaintances all digging into their various meals as Ophlia walks across the tavern to talk to a human gentleman with a raccoon draped across his shoulders. This raccoon, because I haven't described it to you yet, is kind of odd. He's very buff in the forepaws. Like he skips hind leg day, but not foreleg day.
Gotcha. Copy that. That's pretty awesome.
He also has.
Give Elvis a scratch behind his ears.
It takes a little bit of coaxing, but he recognizes you and skirts off the shoulders and cuddles up to you as you scratch behind his ears. You see next to this human is a great sword, a kind of claymore, pounded very, very thin and slightly convex, with 3. It's pounded convex, kind of like a shield would be, and across it is 3 steel bands to reinforce it. Yeah. It is a very odd weapon, but you can tell that it should be a claymore.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right. You guys all finish up your meals. You greet Mansell if you wish to actually converse, or you guys can start out in the morning.
Ophlia just gives him a cheery good morning and, greeting Elvis and all that. So.
Oh, hello, Ophlia.
Well, it looks like everyone's here, and she glances over to the group.
Right. So you have a destination. He seems a little eager to actually get out into the fray.
Yeah. I think the others know where they're going. I did talk to those people.
Well, perhaps you should.
Yes, the dwarf.
Maybe. I guess I was just a little distracted yesterday.
As he guides you over to your friends, he seems to be taking at least charge in this moment, gathering everybody together.
Yes, my dwarf friend said head east, and we'll have great battles with the undead and the giant beasts.
Ooh, what kind of beasts?
What did he say? Big beasts, turn people to stone. I don't know. The things we kill.
A basilisk.
And were you? Oh yeah, you were there, and you said basilisk. You go as you say basilisk. Mansell's face kind of like he's like smiling, but it like visibly pales. Basilisks?
Yeah, I think that's what he said. Big beast kill.
Yeah.
Anybody able to stop petrification? As he's still like got this like now fake smile on his face.
I have an axe. That'll stop them from doing anything.
I don't think basilisks are involved with what we're trying to do. I mean, it sounds like it'll be fun, but I was told that we need either to have the guards or the hunters help us try to find the location where they drop off the tribute for the Timber Maiden, as we're trying to locate her. And
he nods. I'm still very worried about basilisks.
I think we all are. Why didn't you say this earlier, Volgar?
he was drunk,
What's there to worry about? We kill him, then we don't have to worry.
and then we'll leave your statue behind.
Yeah, I don't think you understand just what a basilisk does.
It dies.
Anybody who wishes to can make a nature check.
I will make a nature check.
I can attempt.
Yeah, the bards can also make a nature check.
18.
18, nice.
14.
I don't have training in it.
It's fine. You're a bard.
Okay.
You basically have jack of all trades, even if you're
I
not
don't know.
proficient.
We're a swamp.
Oh, right. Sorry.
Awesome.
Never mind.
Yeah.
All right. So, 18. Basilisks, lizards, many limbs, many eyes. Those eyes are they instinctually lock on anyone in a certain range, and legends say that their piercing gaze will turn anybody to stone. With an 18, you know that there are ways to combat this. There are, in areas where basilisks are known to be, potion shops will often sell tinctures to stop or slow the process, because it takes time for the petrification to set in. You're not exactly sure how long that is, but you know it takes at least a little bit of time.
Okay. What did you say the potion was called again?
It's a tincture. So I would say just write down tincture of depetrification. You also know that there are people who go out and cull these threats, and these people tend to avert their gaze while fighting these beasts, because the petrification only happens when you lock eyes with them. So, don't look at them, and if you do look at them, have this tincture available.
Well, in that case, and for role-playing purposes, I kind of reach into my satchel and I pull out this leather-bound journal. It's got like some flowers that have been pressed, kind of like falling out of it, like random things. It's got like this, it's got kind of like a nice leather stamping on it, like some vines.
Perfect.
I kind of read through it and I'm like, basilisks. And I kind of read through it and I'm like, ah, yeah, basilisks. And I kind of read the note says, per what you've given me. I'm like, we should find a potion shop nearby. I think I might be able to help us out with our basilisk problem, in the case we run into one.
Sounds like a reasonable idea.
I don't see what the big deal is, but whatever.
Okay, so you guys finish eating, and you guys stand up. Your tab's being paid. You exit the bar. If you so wish, you can go to the potion shop or any other shopping you wish to do before you head out, or any other investigatory, inquiries.
Did Ophelia see a potion shop as she was walking around? I thought I remember hearing that, but...
Yeah, you were in it.
Oh, that it was a potion shop? It wasn't just magic?
It was a magic shop, but it had potions.
Okay. Well, Ophelia will let the group know that she knows where to buy potions.
Before we
Yep,
go...
Misty Cupboards. It was a magic shop that had potions in it.
Yes. Yes, it was. And Tonka. Tonka the friend.
Yep.
Before we go by the potion shop, an idea that struck me. Is there a general store in the area that may sell small hand mirrors?
With your nature check, the hand mirror idea doesn't work. It's an eye effect. If you lock eyes with the creature.
Okay, so it's not just like I can see a reflection
Yeah,
of it? Okay.
The Medusa thing does not work in this setting.
I was going to
sorry.
go with Hermione, but you know.
Yeah, I was thinking the Hermione thing, but okay.
Well, the
Reflective
Hermione
glasses.
thing was
Yeah.
was based off of Medusa.
Well, yeah,
Didn't work for her either.
Yeah, because literally Medusa froze
that's
herself.
right.
Yeah.
Well, I was trying to think of an idea that is known to not work.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if you lock eyes with
Okay.
something that has an eye effect, it's going to affect you.
Even
I'm sorry.
through reflections.
Even with reflections, I'm sorry.
I'm gonna try to find the guards then, I guess. Yeah.
Okay, we will get to you in a minute. We're going to go to
Potion shop.
the potion shop. Stop. Ugh.
That's where to put that.
Sorry. All right. Who's going to the potion shop, and who's going to go with Leslinor?
Ophelia's
Where's
leading
he
the way
going?
to the
I'm gonna
potion
find the
shop,
guards.
so...
All right, Ophlia, Abram,
I'll go with you.
Squeege.
Yeah, we'll be
Squeege,
back.
are you going to go with potions or guards?
I'll go to the potion shop.
All right. So the three of you make your way in the early morning sun peeking through the overcast sky and the ever-pervasive mist. You find the shop just as it's opening. The smell from the shop is not as pungent as you remember it, but it's slowly building. As you enter it, you can see that he's freshly built a fire and recently lit the brazier that is emitting the incense that ever pervades the street and shop that he presides in.
As Ophelia walks in, she'll just be like, "Good morning, Tonka." Just way too morning.
Oh! He's so excited. Return customer! Fantastic! And you bought friends!
I did.
As he comes like traipsing up really fast, his short gnomish stature just beaming with excitement. Oh, right! How can I help you?
I just want to make one thing clear. She's not my friend.
Oh. Make a deception check. Because you're a Kenku, but you're not a Kenku.
I don't know.
There's the tray over there.
By the
clear.
way,
I don't
yeah,
like
high, low, good, bad. This is for Switch.
Oh, sorry, what?
High, low, or good, bad for
Oh
Switch.
no.
How about you do that? Because I don't do that.
Oh, okay, well, I wasn't sure. But, okay, Switch is gonna stay with her.
10.
It was just if he was gonna bounce off her shoulders or not. He
Ah.
wasn't getting too much instruction.
He is so excited at having, a repeat customer in these dark times and friends of repeat customer that he doesn't notice that you're not a Kenku.
Good.
He goes, "Fundiferous, right? What can I do for you?"
I want to ask him if he has any tincture of depetrification about.
Yes. I do have some stock of that. Some stock. Right. That's going to cost you 30 gold per tincture.
Our clear cutters need them sometimes, and so I always have a stock.
How many do you have? I can help pay.
Currently not assigned and set aside for our clear cutter friends. I have 3.
Okay.
Well, and Athley, I'll purchase 2, and I think that should cover at least the emergency cases. If anyone looks it in the eye, hopefully not. So I'll pass him the 60
That's
gold.
not. I guess I'll go ahead and get one as well.
So, because nobody's done this before in this game, you're always free to barter. So if you think you can get a better deal than any price that I'm setting, you're free to try and barter. It just requires a little bit of role play and a persuasion check.
Absolutely. So I kind of look at the glass, the vial as
It is a stony gravel mixture.
Okay.
You can see flecks of like gold and silver-ish reflective material within the gravelly gray.
Would I be able to check the quality of this potion?
You have alchemy. Are you proficient in alchemy tools?
No, I'm not.
Okay, then no.
Okay.
You can at least attempt to bluff your way through that, which would be a deception check.
No, I'll simply ask him. Well, we are trying to go and check out this whole timber. I forgot what her name was.
Timber Maiden.
We're going to try to check out the Timber Maiden, and we might be able to, get some of your offerings back if we can find her and find her stockpile. And we need this to get past the basilisk. Would you be willing to go to 20 gold pieces per bottle?
He looks you up and down. Make a persuasion check.
Oh wait, can Awfully inspire him?
Yeah, you can. Don't say it before she inspires
Yeah.
you.
Okay.
Because the instant you tell me, it stops it.
Huh?
Oh, sorry, I'm just telling John the rules.
Oh yeah. So this can either be taken as an inspiration or I guess advantage. I'm not sure what you're gonna think.
Well, you decide. Are you trying to give him advantage or are you inspiring him?
Let's go with advantage.
All right, so you're helping him. How are you helping him?
So we're gonna be going to the Timber Maiden. And if we go and get the offerings back and all of that, we'll probably need to come back and replenish potions and stuff anyways, so you are almost guaranteed more repeat customers.
Okay, I'll buy that. Go ahead and roll persuasion with advantage.
Okay, so
So
just
roll
get rid
it-
of that roll that I just
So
did.
no, roll again and then keep the higher of the two.
Okay. 18.
18. He ruffles his hair slightly. He thinks deeply, and then he looks up. He goes, "All right, you bought from me before. 35 apiece."
What was that?
Oh no, sorry, 25 apiece. So, he takes 5 off. It was 30 before, and now it's 25.
I kind of rummage through, my gold pouch and I say, well,
So it'd be 50 for 2.
50 for 2. Well, good sir, if you give it to us for 20 now, I will most likely have to come back for potions after we are done fighting these basilisks. And I'd be willing to, definitely spend a bit more coin next time I'm here if I can get the lower price now.
I've already given you a lower price, Sonny. I love the attempt, but right now I'm in hard times and I'm starting to wonder if I should just move out of this place.
Absolutely, and understandable, of course.
It's going to be in even harder times if we don't actually succeed.
I'll take 3
Right.
bottles.
3 bottles for 25 apiece, 75!
75. And I hand over him the 75 gold pieces.
Alright, he hands you small, 3 small tinctures. The vials are shaped kind of like a crystalline arrowhead. Inside of it, you can see a sluggish, gravel-like liquid with shining flecks of gold and silver.
Okay.
He goes, alright, so, to use this tincture, when somebody is in the process of petrification or fully petrified, you have 1 minute after they are petrified to apply it to the skin. Otherwise, it will not work. Right? If you see any other statue out there, it will not work unless, of course, it has been 1 minute.
I kind of take out my leather journal and I start furiously writing
Right.
exactly what he's telling me.
It requires much more potent magic in order to take somebody who's been a statue for a long time, a kind of greater restoration to bring them back.
Not at that level yet.
Yeah, right.
So, just remember, if you want to stop them, or if they've recently been petrified, you have 1 minute.
Okay.
You don't need to feed it to them, just apply it to their skin, alright?
You got it.
Statues don't drink!
Apply it to skin 1 minute.
Apply directly
Write
to
in
the
my
forehead.
notes and I put the
It's not flesh if they're gravel, lady. Son. Alright. I have other things if you wish. I have scrolls, rings. I even recently got a piece of armor if you're interested.
What kind of armor is that?
This is a very special piece of armor. It's an armor of illumination. You speak a command word, and this half-plate armor will light up, giving you what would appear to be torchlight.
I'm good for now, but when I come back, I might have a look at that again.
Fantastic!
Alright, I'm done. I'm done bartering.
The scrolls too.
Current appearance doesn't already scream flaming.
Jeez. Damn it.
Sorry, I tried to hold it in.
I thought you were smiling at my voice. Nope.
What that do?
Flaming.
All right. You guys leave Misty Cupboard's magic shop. As you guys are staring up and cast your glance about, the streets are bustling with people moving about to their morning business. You watch as several empty carts leave the town and head out into the woods with clear cutters behind them carrying tools.
Well, I guess we should find Les.
Find who?
Les.
All right. Liz and Volgar. the two of you, I'm going to assume that you guys decided to come up with a time to meet, because, sense making.
Oh, I'm going to the guardhouse. Like, they're...
No, I mean, like,
Yeah.
later on.
Oh, yeah.
You guys make your way to... What?
We are going to be looking for the guardhouse, or at least what would constitute a guardhouse for this town.
Make an intelligence check.
Both of us?
You can aid him if you like.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Alright, do it with advantage then. You're not
Hey,
one
same
for the
number again.
city, but you can help
18.
him sometimes. In a town like this, and hearing that Ophlia came from this church, the Temple of the Lawbringer, Arathis, is a place that law congregates. Henceforth, the guard would probably also have an annex or a little offshoot from this temple.
Alright, I guess I'll go to the temple.
Okay.
And have the barbarian and the lush golden locks follow me.
Right, looking very much like a trashy romance novel.
Of He-Man.
Of He-Man. Yeah, Fabio, if you will, traipses behind you as you make your way to where Ophlia was before, where you saw her. And you enter within its stony walls, walk upon the somewhat polished stone floor, and see the benches all lined up and people praying within it.
I want to see if I can find either a priest or somebody in some kind of guard getup.
Okay. Off to the side, in a little side atriary, you do see several guards congregating around a desk. Somebody behind the desk doing clerical work seems to be assigning them places to go.
I'm going to wait for the person doing the clerical work to assign them for him to be free, because I feel like that he'll probably have the best information, or at least know where to find the person with the
You
information.
wait. It is somebody in traditional, like, acolyte robes. Pretty close cut in the hair. He is young, possibly 17, human. Very, very close cut hair with a quill. And he's done talking to a guard as the guard scarpers off to where he apparently needs to be. As he looks up at you. Yes. As he says in a raspier voice than you expect. And as you hear it, you look and he has the telltale veins creeping up across his face.
Oh, this might help me a little bit then. You have more of an incentive to help, I guess. Sir, I was sent here by the nobles of Strona to find out what about this so-called Timber Maiden, to see if word of a god is actually true.
The nobles of who?
Strona. Or Sona.
Stona! As he, like, reels back slightly, using that name, make an intimidation check.
Is it your time to help?
Yeah, we're intimidating someone?
Yes. Or, I did a name drop and the guy's like, oh shit.
Well,
Nah.
I look at bad, because you saw an outcome and asked for help. I look at bad.
Hi, good.
Hi, good. Can't help. What'd you get?
9.
9?
I mean, it's the truth, though. That's
It is. Alright, so he's where he's at. Go for it.
They've heard word about the Timber Maiden and then rumors of, well, not really the Timber Maiden, they just heard rumors of a god appearing in these areas, and they sent us to investigate. And from what my investigation that I've learned so far, it does not paint a very pleasant picture. So, I feel that it'd be best if myself and my companions either find the Timber Maiden to figure out if this talk is actually true, or if she is not, take care of the issue so this curse ends upon your village.
He blanches slightly at the mention of Stona, then steals up. We're a long way. What do they want with us?
They don't want anything. All I was told is that they want is to see if the rumors are true. And I've also I've made a promise to myself that we will accept no reward from this village. We are just here to help. I don't know about the others, but I just wish to help.
Stone dogs don't do that.
I'm not a dog.
You look like one to me if you're mentioning Stone and expecting business.
I only mentioned them because they were worried, and I've been sent here by them. I don't care about any ulterior
We're
motives.
outside of the lands of Stona.
I know.
We're free. We trade with them, but we're free.
You are free, and you are trading with them.
I interrupt. I'm like, I don't know who the Stona people are. I'm like, I just need directions of where to go so I can go kill some undead and basilisks and hopefully a god.
Okay, make a persuasion check with disadvantage because he invoked the name of Stona.
2 18.
No, a 19 and an 18.
Oh,
1918?
So 20.
pretty good. For disadvantage.
We're free. I like you. How can I help?
we want to know where the Timber Maiden wants her offerings, so we can go out there and find out if we need to kill her or not. Most likely kill her.
As you mentioned that you're going to kill the Timber Maiden, he just quickly just starts looking around and suddenly getting very, very nervous. As he leans in, I'm going to stage whisper for the camera, or not the camera, the microphone. Alright, so, about half a day's journey east of here, and then he starts listing off a few landmarks as to which way to turn, and the easiest way, and a few game trails that you can follow. You're going to come across a mighty redwood that has been felled. All that's left is a huge stump, and upon its base is a ring of bones.
Got it.
Place your offering atop the redwood stump.
Offerings on redwood stump.
I've only had my offerings placed upon myself. You can see what that got me. I don't know if it works or not.
Well, I appreciate it. I'm gonna go. I will do my best to destroy her for you.
Thanks. I think I'm good through this lunar cycle, but the next one I'm done for sure. I'm not as progressed as the others in this current cycle. I don't know why.
Ring of Bones sounds like necromancy to me.
Well, I appreciate it.
I hope not.
I mean, all the symptoms are the classic telltale signs of necromancy, from what I've been told.
He blanches even more than when you mentioned Stona. I'm sorry I couldn't have been more help, as he cries out even louder. Please, we must maintain order, leave this place, so that I may help the next servant of the gods.
Alright. I turn around and leave.
Okay. As you guys all leave the
Thank
temple.
God you came.
Alright, you now have information of the dangers, a destination, some manners of combating it. What would you like to do now?
Head out.
Yeah. Find everyone else.
All right, you guys meet up at your designated place, which is on the outside of the town, at actually an outskirts temple. Sorry. The Mother's Pasture, which is Melora's, or the Wild Mother's temple. You guys walk out into a field, and within this field, you see animals grazing. It's a little sad because they're shrouded in fog, but they seem to be healthy enough, grazing on verdant pastures. You also, through the mist, see an orchard whose intertwining branches are so dense that they weave and meld together to form a roof canopy for people that you see walking under it in the shade, either praying or picking fruit into baskets and carrying it off into the town.
Sounds like a great place to meet.
Abram lights up at seeing the place that he beds down every night.
Is this place to the east of the town, or...?
It is to the east of the town.
So it works?
I like all the shade.
It's already shady where you're at because you're within the fog. You're not under disadvantage because of
Place looks a little
sunlight.
bit fruity to me.
It is very much like a hippie commune.
Just minus the weed.
Alright, enough of that. Enough of that. Alright, so you guys are walking through Mother's Pasture. If you guys don't do anything, you guys pass off into the forest.
Just if everyone's gathered up, then yes.
Alright, marching order please, as you guys march off into the town, or off into the forest.
So who wants to go first out of the two of you?
Yeah, who wants to go first? I'm actually,
Yes, I'll go
let's
second.
see. Ophlia is gonna be somewhere upper center, I guess. And whoever's in front of her has to deal with her hand on their back because she's actually gonna send Switch about 30 feet ahead and looking through his eyes.
Do you warn them about this? Or do you just grab their shoulder?
Whoever's in front of her.
Who's in front?
Well, for the last, few hours that I've known this group, the one thing that they've seen of Abram's character is that I wouldn't say he's falling everywhere, but anytime that he's like going through a doorway, he'll like stub his toe, or like there's like some steps, he'll like miss a step on the way.
He
up
accidentally
and
shoulder
down.
checks
Yeah.
a peasant on his way.
Not fully aware of the size that he is, seemingly quite clumsy.
I have no problem running away. I'm a little worried having him behind me. But
But in any case, I guess I'll go first,
All right.
so I can get an unclouded view of the nature around me.
All right. As you begin moving off into the woods, you see clear-cut stumps just left there. Occasionally, you see a sproutling of a tree next to a stump of somebody who's accidentally left an acorn or purposely planted a tree there where they clear-cut something. It's sporadic. You don't know whether they intentionally place trees where they cut them or if this is something that is accidentally left behind.
Well, obviously, seeing the trees cut is deeply saddens me.
Though you do understand from your travels that clear cutting actually can help a forest grow in the long run,
Mm-hmm.
so long as it's not rampant.
Absolutely, and I noticed that, since they're all done kind of like sparsely and kind of in between, they're not cutting down, they're not leveling the forest.
The first mile is just flat,
Okay.
just flat stumps of clear-cut wood, but there is growth
Happening in between it.
Yeah,
Amongst
amongst the stumps, there are sporadic young trees beginning to sprout.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's kind of like I kind of see the first thing I notice is all the stumps, and it saddens me, but at the same time I see the new growth, and
yeah, it gives hope.
gives
Whether
hope.
this is Melora's blessing, returning life to this part of the land,
Mm-hmm.
or it's intentional of the clear cutters to actually
Helpful, yeah.
to do it. It seems to be a little bit of both.
Okay.
What with if this was accidental, there'd be fewer trees. But if this was Melora, maybe she would do a little bit more. You're not sure.
Mm-hmm. All right, I take note of it mentally.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell the intention of just clear-cut woods. About a quarter mile in, you see the deeply carving rut of a cart trail. It's a deep grooving valley where you can tell that carts pass through with heavy burdens, often headed towards the town. The sheer deepness and darkness of the soil here says that something damp moistens the soil often. But there's an obvious wagon trail,
Gotcha.
wagon wheel grooves within this rut in the earth. Being a clear cutters area, this is obviously a trail that people carry cut logs through. An hour in through your travel, you reach a river which is easy enough to ford, and you can see off to the north, just out of view through the fog, the very first log of the day is on its way to a group of people that you can see waiting with a steel net spread across the river to catch it. You guys wish to press on?
They're not important.
Yeah.
No?
I'll press on.
The river is shallow enough. It's only waist deep, easy enough for you to ford. It's not exactly fast moving. The log hits the steel mesh with just some alacrity. It's not very heavy in its course. As you ford across it, as you begin to press into the woods proper, parchwood, birch, and oak, all intermingling, mixing with gnarled branches. Sparse at first, but as the hours grow on, you press in further and they all begin to intertwine, forming a thatched roof over your head, beginning to slowly blink and blot out the sun that is already dimmed by the ever-pervasive mist.
Man, those clear cutters should come over here and chop down some of these trees.
As you say that, a branch creaks and you hear an owl hoot, completely out of turn for the time of day.
I'm checking full trades right now.
As a acolyte of nature, let's just say, I do take note of that.
Yep. Welcome to the Caramont Timberland. As you guys begin pressing through, you still smell the salty air from the Limingview Strait. And just out of view through the shaded light that manages to press through both the canopy of gnarled branches and the ever-pervasive sea mist from the Limingview Strait. We're going to call it a night.
Alright.
Alright, guys. Thank you for playing, and thank you for listening. This is Cats and Crowbars. Daniel the Dungeon Master here. Thank you for showing an interest in Cats and Crowbars. Be sure to check us out every other week as we post new adventures.